The first step in tackling worry is to understand your own worry experience. The best way to achieve this is by keeping something called a worry diary. But won't this make me worry more? No, the idea isn't to generate more worries, but to understand your own experience when worrying. And having this insight is so important to overcoming worrying. Keep a simple diary just like this. When you notice yourself become anxious, pause for a second and become more aware of what's going on inside your body and what you're thinking. Notice what thoughts are going through your mind or any mental images you may be seeing. Ask yourself, what problem is causing you trouble right now? What's the source of your worry? Also, ask yourself, what future-based situation am I worried about? You may notice what-if worries, a lot of what-if questions in your mind. When writing down your worry, don't be vague. Write it down as if it comes straight from your mind. It most likely starts with the phrase, what if? Then write down what you did in response to this worry. If you've seen my last video, write down what worry behaviour you use to try to minimise the uncertainty or to avoid it. Also write down anything that you did to prevent this worst fear from coming true. Do this for a week. I know this might sound unnecessary or even boring, but it's crucial to understand your own worry experience and for the next steps we're going to be taking. Once this week is up, it's time to analyse the results. For this, you need to know about the two different types of worries. The first type of worry is something we call a hypothetical worry, while the second type is something we call a practical worry. Hypothetical worries are worries that are outside of your control. They are often focused on what could occur and not what is occurring right now. For example, what if my babysitter cancels last minute? Or what if there's no parking? Or what if something bad happens to my loved ones? What if I get into a car crash? Hypothetical does not mean that this worry cannot occur. It simply means it's mostly outside of our control. For example, a car crash is something that could happen. However, it counts as hypothetical because there's very little control you have over other drivers' actions. Practical worries are worries that are within your control. They are often, but not always, occurring in the here and now. The important thing here is that there is some sort of action you can take to fix the issue in the here and now. If there's something you can do about it, but later on in the future, it might be a hypothetical worry for now. For example, if you're worrying about whether or not you press send on an email, it would be hypothetical if you were stuck in a meeting and unable to check, but becomes practical after the meeting if you have actually forgot to send the email. The reason we classify these worries differently is because the strategy to deal with them differs based on the type of worry. For example, with hypothetical worries, imagine trying to solve a worry outside of our control. No matter how much you think or worry about it, the outcome is unlikely to change. We just end up being more anxious when we worry about it. We need to learn to tolerate things being outside of our control. And when we use our worry behaviours, we're not learning that lesson. Let's think about practical worries then. Now imagine worrying excessively over a problem that's within our control. However, when we worry, we know we become more and more anxious. Sometimes we actually get to a point where we start to procrastinate or avoid dealing with the problem because we've bigged it up in our heads so much. So what we actually need to do is take steps to solve the problem rather than worry about it so we can fix the issue. Now go back over your diary for the week and classify each worry as either hypothetical or practical. My next video will cover a strategy to deal with these hypothetical worries, and then my following video after that will deal with the practical worries. For an in-depth guide, including all the worksheets you'll ever need, please explore my anxiety book on Amazon. For more information on how therapy can help you overcome your anxiety, please visit my website at canaria-cbt.com.